peeps, my video today is to talk about awkward moments, and I'm sure we've all been there. Trust me, like, you know, they're just hilarious, and I'm pretty sure they happen to the majority of people in the world. And I have a few that I certainly, you know, come up at least a couple times a day. Is when you're in a store and the one time you kind of just talk to yourself, or if you talk to yourself a lot and you don't notice, you know, when you're in a store and you're looking for an item and you're just talking, and you know, half the time there's no one there, but then there's somebody, and as you just say whatever you're saying, they hear you. And it's like you don't really have a response or like a thing to trick, so you're just like, fuck, and then you kind of just like walk away, or you just let it go and just like, just shut up. That's what you usually do. But I find that that's kind of awkward, and you're just like, okay, I'll just shame all the way out the store. And you know, I've done it a couple times where I'm just like, fuck, why do I keep talking to myself, you know? And you'd think I'd learn, but no, I do it a lot, and it's like a constant thing that I do sometimes where I don't even have a way to back it up, like pick up a phone and be like, pretend that you're talking to someone even though you're not. I mean, I'm sure we kind of do that, but you know, sometimes I'm just like not quick enough to think of a legit excuse. But I think that's something that's really funny, and I do it kind of a lot. So that's an awkward moment. The whole name awkward is awkward. You ever go on a date, or you're with somebody and you kind of don't talk for a bit? Like, you kind of get that comfortableness where you're just, the two of you are just in silence, and you don't really notice it. Like, you kind of just like go with the flow, and until you say something, then it's awkward. So you're just like, oh fuck. Alright, another awkward moment is when you see somebody that you think you know and it doesn't turn out to be them. Or as you get closer, you're just like, oh my god, that's not the person. Oh my god, the fuck. And you kind of like go out of your way to get their attention, or you kind of just like really push to, like, you know, to see them. Otherwise they're walking like away from you, or to get them to turn around. But you kind of just like yell, or you know, you wave, and it's not them. That is awkward. That is so awkward, because what do you do after that, right? And you're just like, oh, fuck me, like, I'll just turn around, you know? Like, what do you do? So I find that is extremely awkward, and I've done that a couple of times. Even in high school I used to do that, where people are like, that's not her, that's not her. And I'm like, yeah it is, yeah it is. And I scream her name. It's not her. Joke's on me. But I find that extremely awkward, and you know, you just look awkward back, because they obviously know that, you know, that's not the right person that you're trying to get. Yeah. Another awkward moment I have is when you're driving and someone's passing you. I mean, we all kind of like glance at who's driving what car, because we're always suspicious of like, oh, that's a nice car, or it's just like an instant thing, like, oh, is that guy hot? I know it's a guy, but is he hot? I want to know who's driving that car. So it's a kind of like instant reaction to kind of see, as we're driving, like who's driving the car, like, oh my god, where's that guy? And as they pull, you know, they're coming up to you, you kind of just like glance over and be like, kind of like play it cool, but they see you, you see them, and you know, half the time it's just like a hi kind of awkward face, because I'm sure we all look at each other when we're driving. We all want to know who's driving these like sexy ass cars half the time, right? So that's the thing, we just kind of stare at each other, and it's awkward. And the other day, my neighbors were, I've never met her, I didn't know what she looked like, and I saw her driving a car that wasn't her normal car, and we kind of passed each other, and we both looked at each other like side by side, like talk about awkward. And I don't know if she knows who I am, but we kind of just looked at each other, and it was like a, not even a wave, but like a snobby kind of look. I don't know. She gave me this weird look. I was like, what the fuck? But I was like confused as to what to do. That's awkward. Oh. When you think somebody's talking to you, either they're looking at you, but they're talking to somebody beside you, or kind of looking in your way and you think they're talking to you, and you go to respond, and they're just like, I wasn't talking to you. Okay, that is awkward, trust me, I've done that, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't even know what to say, like, I'll just let it go. And you kind of like, you're stuck in the situation where you're still with that person in the area, so you're kind of just like, the shamefulness is happening to you, and you just kind of have to just deal with it because you ain't getting out of there anytime soon, so you're just like, I should have just fucking shut up, basically. Or when you're at a bank or something and, you know, someone asks you a question, like, who's next? And, oh, I'm just with this person, and they're not even talking to you, they're talking to the person behind you, and then you talk, yeah, and it's just awkward because you're like, oh, fuck, did they just hear me say that, or, you know, yeah. And it's hard because, you know, you're thinking, they didn't hear me, I'm okay, but you don't realize it. But sometimes people are loud, like I'm loud sometimes, and I just say shit without even realizing, so it's like, oh fuck, man, like I just did say that and they heard me, so that's for sure. So those are my awkward moments, and if you have any, I want to hear them, because I think awkward moments are interesting, and I want to hear everybody's awkward moment, not just mine, because it gets kind of boring, you know. But, and everyone goes through the exact same thing, so we're all the same sometimes, and you just don't know it. But I'm gonna peace out, and I'll make a new video soon, you know, hopefully get a better idea of what to do. You know, it'd help if I have questions, because I love questions. I'm like the question person of answering, you know, I just love when people ask me questions. But when it comes to doing stuff naturally, I'm just like blank. So if you have questions, you know, watch the video and let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. I have no problem answering questions, and I'm like, it makes me happier when people have questions for me. It makes me feel awesome and special, and I get all that little more feeling inside. So ask me questions and I'll answer them honestly. Like that's what I am. I'm an honest person. So I'm gonna say au revoir. That was horrible. I'll say bye. And I will talk to you soon.